Good morning. How's everybody doing today? I hope everyone's had a great start to the day and to this conference. My name is Sophia, and over the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to cover the topic of modern market research and how social intelligence, through the form of social media listening, can help you to get answers and insights to your market research questions. We're going to go through today quite a bit of things, starting from the current state of market research. We're then going to dive into the evolution of online conversations and how this led social listening to become a much sought after tool by market research teams. I'm also then going to share with you guys some case studies of how we've helped clients on certain challenges, and we'll wrap things up with a little bit of a Q&A so we can chat about any questions that you may have about using social intelligence for market research or simply about Digimind. In my role, I work together with clients on a daily basis to help them to extract data from social media and the internet and turn them into insights that answer their business questions. Now, this can include a huge range of different things, starting from, what are the most popular sports talked about in Malaysia? What was the impact of COVID on telco industries? Or even, what is the state of the whiskey industry in Singapore? Essentially, what we do here at Digimind is we help our customers to understand the world as it is by gathering insights about consumers and their products, and not just social media data, but data that's publicly available on the internet. So what this actually means is that we're able to help you to pull together data about what people are saying about your brand, about competitors, or about an industry online, so that your company can use this information to better the strategies and communications with clients. With 22 years of experience and growth in our pocket, we also have a global team which spans across continents that work with clients internationally on social intelligence projects. Adding on to that, our platform's ability to monitor and analyze sentiment in over 60 languages allows us to pull in and analyze data from across borders to give your team a broader understanding of discussions happening everywhere online. That's going a bit too fast. Within the APAC region, we work together with brands across industries such as telcos, tech, insurance, and FMCG to help them with their market research needs. We also regularly work together with agencies who use these findings from our platform to fuel their clients' marketing strategies. Before we delve in any further, let's first define market research so we have a common understanding as to what it is we're talking about here. So for this case of this presentation, market research is any set of techniques companies or organizations use to gather information to better understand their target market. This information can be used to design better products, improve user experience, or craft a marketing message with an outcome to impact factors such as brand awareness, brand love, or revenue. Now, technically, this definition of market research has been around for decades, and market research continues to be a strong area of investment for many, many companies around the globe. In fact, investment in market research in Asia Pacific is tremendous, with China alone accounting for 51%, yes, that's right, of the global market research industry. What has changed, however, is in the age of technology today, the way we gather information, and that is we're doing it in an increasingly digitized approach. As companies continue to invest in market research, we're also seeing more and more investments being directed into social listening, especially for the purpose of rapid information gathering. A study by Gartner that was done earlier this year found out that 51% of marketing leaders obtained incisive information about consumers during the COVID-19 pandemic through the use of social listening platforms. In our conversations with clients, we noticed a few challenges frequently being brought up to us as to why they're keen to explore social listening as a form of market research projects. And here are just a few of them. First of all, the volume of data. There are more than 500 websites being added to the internet every day. And with all that volume, it's really hard to manually keep track of the online space without the help of technology. And if you do try to do it, anyone who has tried to do it will understand that this is an extremely manual task. Data quality is also another issue for primary research because human errors can cause a lot of inaccuracies in data, or biases, for example, in the manner in which questions are asked, which would then lead to biased outcomes. The last two data points that we have here, or the last two challenges essentially that we have here, are related to the speed of obtaining usable data. Real-time differentiators are often one of the leading factors companies are turning to social listening for their research projects, as it enables them to deliver insights within a shorter time frame, which, given today's super fast changing landscapes, we need to have this speed. Companies can no longer afford to wait months for a trend report because by the time they actually receive it, the trends in this report are going to be completely outdated. An interesting fact about social media use is that there are 3.8 billion social media users in the world today. That's a penetration rate of 49% of our population who are actively sharing their thoughts and experiences on social media channels such as Twitter, Instagram, Weibo, Facebook. And what social listening tools do in this case is they provide a great opportunity for companies to access real-time data from almost half the world's population to create better products or connect with their audiences. As we've discussed before, the definition and uses of market research remains somewhat of a constant, but what is rapidly changing is the way that data is being collected, as in-person surveys and focus groups are giving way more and more to digitized means of conducting research. And for sure, the whole COVID pandemic has definitely contributed to this change, as social distancing measures have completely prevented us from sitting in a room together to do a focus group or going out on the streets to do a survey. Now, understandably, there are other ways that we can get data online through the likes of online surveys, polls, etc. But what social media listening is akin to is an extremely large focus group. Except that this time, there's no moderator for this focus group that's asking questions, but we're still able to get consumer thoughts and opinions about things such as whether people prefer the new iPhone or the Samsung Galaxy 20. In addition to consumer preferences, social media is also so rich in consumer feedback and reviews. From unboxing videos to reviews on websites like Lazada or Amazon, being able to pull all of this information about not just your product, but your competitors' products into one central view from multiple different sites and channels can really help you to paint a complete picture in understanding what's working well and what needs to be improved on. Now, in addition to social media, Google is also another giant which holds tremendous amounts of consumer data. And this is in the form of search information. So I'm sure most of you guys have seen the social dilemma by now, so you are aware of just how much data they are pulling in. So I mean, given the fact that the silent majority of these consumers are really turning to Google to get their questions answered. Knowing what kinds of questions netizens are asking online can help to give you clues as to what they're interested in or need help in. For example, you might find that a lot of people are searching for setup instructions for one of your newly released products, which could actually indicate that they're having issues with setting up and need some further guidance. Knowing this, your team could place this information in a very visible spot on your website to enable customers to quickly navigate to where they need to be without further friction. So just how can social data actually help you with market research? So in addition to being a highly cost-effective means of gathering data and insights, we're going to have a quick look at 4 key benefits of social listening for market research, starting off with how social data can help you to understand consumer needs and wants. Social data is a treasure trove of consumer opinions, habits, behavioral drivers as well, which can help you to better understand your audience from their pain points to their passions. Now, we say treasure trove because it really is that. For example, you can find out whether people are talking more about your brand or your competitor's brand, what they think about Nike's new Air Jordan shoes, or even what they're saying about a particular social or political movement that's happening in your country. Having this kind of information is definitely helpful for your company to better understand your customers and thereby increase engagement through having better content and providing better user experiences for consumers in order to help to convert them into loyal customers. One of our clients, a ride-sharing and transport company in Asia, were experiencing an extremely fast growth rate and needed to ensure that they were able to meet their customers' ever-changing needs and wants, and at the same time, grow their market share in a highly competitive environment. By monitoring online conversations, Digimind helped our client to understand their competitor strategy and identify market opportunities, which then allowed them to launch 10 new in-app services and 3 key partnerships to grow their business as well as tend to their existing customers' needs and wants. Another thing that social data can help you to do is to be in the know of market trends as they happen through the real-time nature of data collection and elements of platforms such as dashboards. Social listening can really easily allow you to keep up with this data and stay ahead of competitors by having a constant overview of market movements and allowing you to also be the first to know about these changes instead of having to wait around for like a third-party source or research to be published. The term social data in this case is actually a little bit misleading because some platforms such as Digimind, we also have the ability to integrate information beyond social networks, such as information from news sites or even paid subscription portals such as Factiva, to help you actually keep track of more than just consumer conversations, but also the corporate industry news that's happening. So being able to pull all of this information together into one view actually helps to really provide an oversight of your industry along with all the different components that feed into it, the consumer insights, what your competitors are doing, etc. And having access to this is a huge potential to guide your business strategies by helping you to identify any potential market gaps and to ensure that any upcoming plans that you have are aligned with the general industry and consumer trend. One of our clients, a life insurance group, wanted to expand their business by reaching market segments that had been deemed previously untouched. Now, as we all know, this is usually a pretty tricky thing to do because it requires quite an intensive amount of market research. In order to do this, what they needed to do was understand the behaviors and eccentricities of these market segments in order to anticipate any emerging trends to create so that they were able to create content to entice prospective customers to find out more about what the company has to offer. Now, by listening to significant topics of discussions by key people, such as like key opinion leaders, influencers, as well as sources representing target audiences of these untouched segments, so like specialized forums, for example, we were able to help the client to determine 10 main trends and 100 subtopics that these audiences were interested in. And from there, the client was able to integrate these trends into their content and increase their estimated reach by 70% in a mere 6 months. Customer journey mapping is another area of market research that social data can assist with. By tagging collected mentions based on keywords that are often used at different parts of the customer journey, you could really start to capture customer data and map out these insights, such as where are discussions about awareness and consideration taking place the most? Is it on Twitter, or is it on Facebook, or is it in forums? Or perhaps you want to know what topics are most frequently talked about at different parts of the customer journey. So taking this example that we have here, we can set up the platform or any platform actually in a way that shows us metrics of people who have taken a liking to a product after purchase and those who have rejected a product after purchase. And what you can see here is you can even actually subcategorize what they are talking about within their feedback of why they loved the product that they bought or why they were not satisfied with the product that they bought. Having these kinds of insights at hand, readily available in a few clicks, can really empower not just marketing teams, but customer success teams and product teams with a better understanding of how to move customers through the journey and convert them into paying and happy customers. For example, in the consideration stage, I might actually also want to look at mentions that include things like looking for recommendations or should I buy, whereas when I'm looking for things or like mentions within the post-purchase stage, I might want to look out for mentions which include customer service or bad quality. And that's perhaps one of the ways that you can sort of segregate the mentions that are collected on your platform through the use of keywords. In addition to looking out for these particular keywords, we can also look at sources, like I mentioned earlier, such as particular forums that people are often going on to ask questions, to seek feedback, etc. Understanding the kinds of questions that people are asking within consideration stage in these forums, or if you're going to review sites and you're looking at what people are saying there, you can definitely find out a lot about the customer experience in the post-purchase stage, just from these conversations. To give you another example, Digimind's Insights Lab partnered with an American multinational automaker to help them chart the success of various models of their cars by analyzing audience segment and actions during key steps of the customer journey. Using an extensive tagging system similar to what I had shared before, the team analyzed consumer insights based on factors such as vehicle, offer characteristics, buying experience, and communication content to help the company to identify more than 20 types of satisfaction criteria monthly. So then what happens is that these satisfaction criteria are then fed to the client's teams so that they can then improve their product and enhance the customer experience. Last but not least, the last key benefit that we're going to talk about today is that social listening tools allow you to combine data points from multiple sources so that you have one holistic view of what's happening throughout your business. Data shouldn't exist in silos, and social data is definitely no exception to that rule, because the ability to connect data such as feedback from emails, review sites, call centers in with your social data, and the ability to connect all the dots between this data through the help of a social listening platform is definitely an important factor to allow you to make data-backed decisions and to help you to identify the most powerful change or trends and its impact that it's having on your business. Now, I think that's really one of the beautiful things about social data and social listening tools such as Digimind, is that it allows you to conduct modern market research by gathering real-time information and helping you to visualize it easily so that you can then turn it into actionable insights and basically spend less time data churning and more time actually delivering value. And therefore, allowing you to get a better understanding of your target market and industry that you're operating in a much quicker speed. How we do this at Digimind is through a 5-step approach, which in some ways is similar to the approach of most market research. So the process begins by first collecting data to answer a business question, then aggregating and organizing it in order to make sense of it easily. And the next step is to then analyze the data through a unique combination of our technology, in addition to our seasoned analysts, to help you to generate insights and recommendations that answer your business questions. And the final step, this step is the one where we work really closely together with our clients, is to share these insights with them and their teams, either through our teams, like through presentations, or through the use of newsletters and dashboards or other data aggregation tools, so that everybody who needs access to this information can have access to it. The breadth and coverage of social intelligence for market research is expansive, and it's perhaps one of the factors which makes it so powerful for this purpose. In addition to having just access to consumer mentions through social media channels, Digimind is also able to gather insights from sources such as news, review sites, forums, and even Asian social media sites such as Baidu, Weibo, and Naver. In addition to that, we have an open API which allows you to connect and integrate primary research information such as survey data or customer interviews, census data, etc. And to top it off, we're also able to integrate social data with a range of your chosen tech solutions so that you can have an easy flow of information throughout the company and prevent the issue of data silos. We also regularly collaborate with service partners such as creative agencies and consulting firms to ensure that your entire scope of the market research project can be addressed by industry experts. So we've been through quite a lot of information today about how you should use social listening or how you can use social listening for market research. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you guys with a few tips on how to effectively use social intelligence for market research. Number one, identify a business challenge. I cannot stress this part enough because this can really make or break your project. Always make sure that you base your social listening approach on a business challenge your organization is trying to solve and be focused on what you hope to gain from social listening. Instead of thinking about it as a let's go in and see what we find, think about it more as a means to test a theory or test an assumption or a hypothesis that you have. I promise you, you're going to find a lot better results if you go into your social listening projects in this manner. The second one is set clear goals. And this is very closely tied in with the previous one on identifying a business challenge. So after you've identified a business challenge, it's really important that you set clear goals about what you seek to research. Is it consumer sentiment towards your brand or products, customer behavior, or competitive intelligence? Having this in mind is going to help you to clearly define the keywords of your study to ensure that you don't pick up on too much noise and will help to save you so much time later on in the project. So essentially for this part, isolate and keep only the data that is important and don't try to measure everything at once. The third tip I have for you guys is to look at qualitative data. A lot of researchers and marketers typically focus on key numbers and metrics because these are what they tend to report. And this is things such as like positive or negative comments, share of voice, the overall volume of mentions. But analyzing numbers alone is not enough because, I mean, obviously we know that there's a huge difference between qualitative and quantitative data. And reading through the content of social posts and forums, threads, etc., it's critical because it does allow you to actually tease out consumer insights and suggestions that are constantly being brought up. Now, you can do this easily through the use of things like word concept clouds or looking at most popular hashtags. And these can also already help to give you some clues as to what kind of insights and suggestions that consumers may be typically mentioning. And you'll never know, right? You might find that a single forum thread is going to reveal an insight that actually prompts an entirely new product or a key product enhancement. And the very last tip, but not least, is don't be short-sighted with your social listening projects. Social listening projects are not a one-off thing and should not be a one-off thing. And it's definitely not going to be this magical genie which gives you the answers to your business questions overnight. It's something that you need to integrate as part of your normal data gathering practices so that insights continue to flow through your business and help you to answer your business challenges as and when they come. So I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to share with you guys today. That wraps up my time. We are going to have a short Q&A, but before we go to that, I just wanted to remind you guys that we have a sweepstake happening at our booth. So if you head over to our booth and answer a simple survey, you can stand a chance to win a $100 Lazada voucher. I want that, so I might actually go and to participate in that and hope that my marketing team doesn't disqualify me. All right, thank you guys so much, and let's open up the floor to questions.